Hello. I hope you're having a really good time. Today we're going to make a best differential 11 for the upcoming Gameweek 24, and we're going to add some substitutes that you can always add. So the formation will be most probably 3-5-2 or 3-4-3, but we'll see how it goes. I know that some fixtures took place today, like Bournemouth, Nottingham, Chelsea, Wolves, United, West Ham, and Arsenal, Liverpool, and a lot of fixtures were played yesterday, my time. So we're going to take a look at that, but in another video, because I just came back from my trip and I'm not prepared to get down in details about those games. I want to get a little bit more knowledge of those games and then be prepared to showcase to you what things had happened and how we're going to approach them for Game Week 24. But for now, we can always make a differential draft and see who is going to be in it. The rules are simple. We have to pick a player under 10% ownership. If we are dilly-dallying between some players, the person with low percentage will get picked. So let's dive into it. If you enjoy such type of contents and want to see more and be prepared with some differential picks or some other cheeky stuff, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment down whatever you like to mention or to say. And yeah, let's dive into the goalkeeper's position. We're going to pick first the starting goalkeeper, and then we're going to see how the budget is going and then select another one. So first we're going to pick the 11, and at the end we're going to add some players that can replace them. Looking at the percentage ownerships, like everyone above Pickford is not eligible to be picked, but I see some players that pretty interest me in the bracket below. The guy that I'm going to pick is Vicario. Vicario is most probably going to have a double up in Game Week 25. He is a pretty nailed goalkeeper. There isn't anyone going for his place. I know Spurs are not the best team defensively, but when they play alright, they tend to keep a clean sheet. And maybe Brighton, Wolves, and Palace are not the easiest fixture to keep a clean sheet, or Chelsea, the game that's postponed. But I believe for a double up you need a strict set of players, and we should pick Vicario, at least in my opinion. So going for Vicario. Next, let's go to forwards, and we're going to mix it up a little bit. So everyone apart from everyone above Joao Pedro is not eligible, but there are some players like Tony, Cunha, Højlund, Ferguson that are a pretty good pick, if I have to be honest. And I believe that the three guys pick themselves. I'm going with Cunha, Tony, and Højlund. Højlund has scored in 4 games in a row, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, he hasn't played here, but his 4 games where he where he played, he scored, so that's a good thing for him. And the fixture run is looking alright for them, so I'm picking him. Tony, you know why Tony is here. He is one of the better players in the Premier League. He has already scored 2 goals. He hasn't played against City yet in my time, but maybe he can score there as well. And Cunha just scored a hat-trick against Chelsea, and he has been scoring some pretty important goals, so picking those 3 forwards is pretty easy. So I believe we are going for a 3-4-3. So now we can go in defense and pick our 3 defenders. So anyone above Udogi is not eligible. But when we go down, I see players like Ake that I like, Botman and Burn because they're cheap, Doughty is cheap and he has an okay fixture run. They tend to score goals and he's always involved. Like, he conceded 4 goals and got 3 points, so like always returns. So 6 games in a row he has a return of some sort. So Doughty is our first pick. He's attacking. He's a really good player, so I like such players. I want to pick a defender from Newcastle because their fixture run, it's against Forest, against Bournemouth, then it's Arsenal, but then it's Wolves. They're not too good defensively, but will they improve is the question. Let's see first if we can fit more players that I like apart from Newcastle players. Maybe they will be an alternative to the selected players. Personally, I believe that I'm going to pick Ake, because City are for sure having a double up. I know it's not the easiest double up, but it's still a double up and it's City. So I believe that we need a defender from them, and Ake strikes me as a great player. He scored against Spurs in the FA Cup, so he is doing a fantastic job. Now let's dive a little bit deeper and see who is present and where. So Konsa went out injured. We have to see Brentwaite, Bell, Guardiola, Dao, Senesi, no, Dunk, Emerson. What's the fixture run? It's not good. Sufau, no, it's the same. Robertson is coming back to the fold, and I'm going to pick Robertson. Robertson is a very interesting defender. He has played some minutes against Arsenal, against Chelsea, and I believe he's going to get up to speed in Gameweek 25, when now Liverpool have a 1 week break and then they will be alright. So my third pick is Robertson, as I'm highly considering him for my team. Like, he got injured around here basically, and he has only 1 goal so far, but with his attacking output through the years and his lower end of the price, basically he is a good player to pick. And that wraps up the 3 defenders. So it's Vicario, Dauchi, Ake, Robertson, and we have our 3 forwards. Now let's go and pick our midfielders. So we have to pick above the Swiss. Immediately I see a player who I enjoy very much watching. It's Ward-Prowse. Ward-Prowse is on penalties for West Ham, and I know that he isn't scoring a lot of goals outside of the set pieces, but his set pieces are so good, and I believe being a penalty taker for such a low price with an okay-ish fixture run attacking wise, like Arsenal, Forest, Brentford, Everton, Burnley. Only Arsenal tend to keep a lot of clean sheets, so I will be picking Ward-Prowse if I'm looking for a differential. Going down the route, Luis Diaz is a great shout out. Martinelli, Gross, Garnacho. I believe Garnacho, with his low price and his 5% ownership, is a great guy to pick. Like, their fixtures are going from bad to better, so yeah. I believe after Villa's game, he has 4 from 5 easier fixtures, so Garnacho is naturally being selected right at the moment, and for me he is a great player to own if you're looking for a differential from United. And combined with Højlund, if they keep scoring, they can return a lot of points to your team and to basically anyone that owns them. A player that I admire very much from Manchester City is Bernardo Silva. I know that he has been rested against Burnley in the past week, but that was his first resting. Like, here he was out, and yeah, from here he played almost every game and he tends to score goals, he tends to do well, so I will pick him as a player to own, as a differential Manchester City player to own, because we need those at some point. Maybe Foden and KDB are better, but I like to mention him as a differential player. And looking at the other players, Sterling, no, I'm not interested. Eze and Tulise, they're getting injured a lot. Kulusevski, no. Doku, I don't like him very much. Neto is a guy that tends to do well. I know he doesn't have a double up, but I like how Neto performs and how he's playing. So the final guy here that I'm going to pick is Neto. I know we have too many of Wolves players, but they're scoring goals, like 3 against United, 4 against Chelsea, 3 against Everton, 4 against Brentford. They're a high scoring attacking team, so picking attackers from their team looks like a good option. So here it is, guys, our starting 11 for the differential game, for the differential 11 for Gameweek 24. And now I'm going to add some reserves here. So the 4 guys on the right that you see are going to be our reserves. I'm going to highlight them in a minute, but this looks like a very, very strong differential 11, and I believe it can get you a lot of points, especially for established players like Tony, Ward-Prowse, Robertson, Vicario. Those players are pretty good, and the other guys around them are solid as well. So looking into the goalkeeper's position, I believe that I would be picking Dubravka as an alternative to Vicario. Cheap at price, low ownership, and they have Forest and Bournemouth. And after that, yeah, Wolves, Chelsea and Arsenal were bad, but Palace, West Ham, Everton, they're okay fixtures, so I'm picking Dubravka here. Going into the defenders once again, I believe that I would like to pick maybe no, Everton are having a worse run than basically anyone else, like Brighton defenders. Dunk strikes me as a great guy to own at the minute. Easier fixtures than expected. And he is expensive at 5 million, but he qualifies as a differential, and being the captain he's almost never substitute of, so and left of the bench, so I'm adding Dunk. Going a little bit down below, Martinez got off with an injury. Alex Moreno is a guy that I enjoy a lot and I'm picking him. Like Villa are having an okay fixture run. He tends to score a lot of points. Yeah, here he has a minus because of an unfortunate on goal, but here he has 14 points, so yeah, he's doing all right. And Villa are looking like a team that can be relied on, so I'm picking Moreno as my final defensive option. And going into the midfielders department, let's pick another differential player to be on our bench, and I believe Luis Diaz qualifies as that. He has a goal and assist against Chelsea and assist against Arsenal, so he is performing really well in the past past 2 weeks, so I will be picking him as our final differential player, because Jota is highly owned, Rashford is still, Bruno is still owned, but with Diaz not, so I'm picking him. So if I go here and I just add draw on page and draw this shape, strange shape here, that is our bench. So that is our bench, and the rest of it is our starting 11. So if I go to a more greener color and I wrap it around here, it's a little bit ugly, I know, sorry about that, but yeah, this is our starting lineup. So yeah, those are the starters, that is the bench option. I hope you find some inspiration in them, and maybe if you want to get a differential, you can always rely on those players. Like Garnacho and Højlund has been performing a lot in a previous week, so they may keep that form. Douch is an interesting player for sure. If you're looking for a defender to replace some of your players, Ward-Prowse is doing alright, Cunha is doing amazing, Tony is amazing, Neto is alright. Ake and Bernardo are some rogue shoutouts for Manchester City players that are differential, so you can always go for them. But I believe that is a pretty good and solid 11. I wouldn't be surprised if I see anyone racking up with that alone. So yeah, keep in mind that everything can change in a quick succession, but for now that looks like a very good differential 11. I will be preparing another one most probably for next week if you enjoy this type of video. And I hope to see you soon with more of a, how to say it, good content. Yeah, let's call it good content. I hope you enjoyed this. I enjoyed it for sure. I hope to see you soon, guys, but for now I'll be heading out. Bye.